All right, welcome back to the show. At this time, we are joined by Daniel Foster Allen from St. Paul's Episcopal in Mobile, Alabama. Daniel has committed to play football for Coach Gene Chizik and the Auburn Tigers. Welcome to the show, Daniel.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
We appreciate you taking some time and being with us. And as I mentioned, you have committed to play football at Auburn University. And I just want to stop right there and ask you, what was it about the Auburn Tigers that made you know that this was a place that you wanted to continue your academic and athletic career?
First, ever since I was a child, I've always been like an Auburn fan, and I've always liked football. So it's kind of like been my dream to like just go play football at Auburn. So once I actually got offered, I went up there, took a tour, all that, and then started talking with the coaches, and it felt like it was kind of the atmosphere I was looking for. It was like a family atmosphere first. It was family first always. So that's kind of when I first took my first visit, I was like, this is the place. So that's how I decided on Auburn.
Now, Daniel, whenever we have somebody on the show that has committed to play at a particular university, I always like to ask them about the assistant coaching staff. And the reason being is because you're going to spend more time with them than any of the other coaches. Your positional coaches are who you spend the most of the time with. And a lot of time it's those guys that you're able to build relationships with during the recruiting process. So my question for you is this, Daniel, what coaches have you been able to build a relationship with during this process?
Well, obviously, I've been talking to Coach Gardner and Coach Steele, but like I'll talk to them every like twice a week. But um, who I have most consistent contact with is probably Coach Williams, and yeah, just Coach Williams. I have a lot of contact with him usually, but yeah, those two, those two.
Absolutely. Now, I want to ask you just a little bit about Coach Gardner. He's a guy that has such a reputation for building great defensive linemen. Are you excited to kind of get under some of his tutelage and have him kind of show you the ropes of some of the things he's learned over the years?
Yeah, cause usually when I play, I never really got like a real defensive line coach. I've always had like a coach who just coaches defensive linemen.
Right.
But I think it'll help me in building my skills and just become a better player.
Once again, we're talking to Daniel Foster Allen from St. Paul's Episcopal in Mobile, Alabama, and a commit to the Auburn Tigers. Now, I also want to ask you about Coach Malzahn. As a media member, we deal with him on a professional level, but I've heard rave reviews about him in private conversations with recruits and with players and his coaching staff. What has been your impression when you've dealt with Coach?
Well, it's crazy because we haven't even talked probably more than 5 minutes about football.
Wow.
So it's basically we've been just talking, about everyday stuff, just having conversations. So I would say the relationship with Coach Malzahn is good. It's not really based. It's more than football, I would say.
Absolutely, and that's something that we've always heard about Coach Malzahn is he's a guy that really tries to put an emphasis on the relationship and the family atmosphere there at Auburn. It seems like it is family first, and then all the football will fall into place.
Yes. That's exactly how they do it over in Auburn.
Absolutely. Now, I want to talk about obviously your time at St. Paul's Episcopal. It is, and I think it's a great school for this. I love these types of schools for this reason. Most guys in your position, Daniel, when they're getting ready to head to college, they have no idea what they're getting ready to run into because there is such a strain that comes from learning how to handle the academic side and the athletic side. But what I love about St. Paul's Episcopal is they have a reputation for being a tough academic school and being a good athletic school as well. And it helps you find that balance early. What has it been like your experience at St. Paul's?
Uh, it's definitely been challenging academically. I would say I'm very well prepared for college, and also on the athletic side, it's I would say it's one of the best high schools to go to if you want a well-rounded school because we have every, every time we step on the court field, our mindset is always winning, and it's never a thought that we could lose a game. It's it's always we can win. There's no doubt about it. Outside of academics, just the culture, it's phenomenal because it's it's more diverse than it seems. It's way more diverse. So I've really had a fun time at St. Paul's.
Absolutely. And I'm going to tell you, Daniel, again, I think that it's going to be a real blessing for you when you get to the next level because there are going to be guys you're going to be able to kind of help and teach them, man, because they've not had the academic strain that you've had and the balance it takes to be a great athlete and a great student as well. So St. Paul's has definitely prepared you. That's clear. Now, Daniel, we appreciate so much you taking some time and being with us. Can you allow our listeners and our on the radio and our viewers on the Dr. SEC TV network, can you allow them to know where they can find you at on social media so they can follow you throughout your career?
Yeah, on Instagram you can it's DFA underscore 90, and that's the same with and yeah, that's the only thing I'm on.
Absolutely. Now, one thing you've got to do for us before you go, all of our Auburn listeners going to want to hear it. Can you give us a War Eagle before you go, man?
War Eagle.